Well. I have to say, it has been a long time coming, but we are back with the live streams on the Stonadge channel, the most inconsistent YouTube channel on the planet. But we are back and we are ready to rumble for what will be a very, very fun, entertaining, and hopefully informative streaming, and a place for you guys to get your opinions up and around here on the Stonadge channel. It's going to be nice and chilled out this evening, of course. There's been little going on. I mean, I've had the international break. I've had a fucking horrible week at uni, lads. I can't lie. It's been hard, but we got through it, and now we're chilling in the Easter holidays whilst also getting some work done. But I thought, let's bring back the daily streams. Let's bring back what we've been doing and bring back content every single day for you at 7:30 starting this Monday. So, hello Liz and David in the chat already, as always, eager beavers as we can... I've never said that. Why have I ever said that? Josh is in the chat as well. Good to see you. And Robbie is here as well. Hello, stranger. Yeah, it's been a while. I've not put out much, lads. I can't lie, and it's been bad for me. It's been bad. I have to say. I'm not gonna lie. I preach consistency. I say, lads, to be good on YouTube, you gotta be consistent. What bullshit am I projecting on everyone? You know, there's absolute waffle. When I can't even do it myself. So yeah, it's shocking, really. But it was for a good reason. Had a lot of work at university. So yeah, and obviously I had my live show, which some of you went over and commented on. I really appreciate that. And shared around. It was great. The football manager video. Oh mate, well I'm glad you did. We're gonna bring it back. I am gonna be streaming, I think, FM. And I'm debating whether to keep it on this channel or to do like a different site, like a Chris FM channel. But yeah, we will see. Eager beavers. I don't know if I've ever said that before in my life. But yeah, today it's all about Tottenham. Not all about it. Don't worry. We are going to be spreading some of our love elsewhere. But yeah, Antonio Conte and Tottenham, the whole situation. It has been utterly mental over the last week. We do all have to say that. Obviously, the draw against Southampton didn't really help things. But apart from that, there is a whole lot more to unpack. I'm just going to tweet that we are live now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to tweet that out just so we can get a few more people coming in from Twitter as well. There is a rumour you have a life. No, Robbie, I don't have a life, mate. What? That doesn't exist, mate. That doesn't exist. I don't have a life. Never. I'm also back home in Ross-on-Wye as well, if you can't tell. I've got a slightly different angle going on. Slightly different brightness level as well. I'm looking a bit white. I'm not going to lie. I'm looking a bit white, lads. But, yeah, so Tottenham, Antonio Conte, the whole situation. Let's start with that because I think it's pretty hard to get away from it. And talking about everything to do with Tottenham Hotspur at the moment. So, and also there will be international games going on at the same time as well. So make sure to keep me informed. And also, I will be doing a live watch along of Wales against Latvia as well. Come I believe tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Wales v Latvia? Can you guys let me know in the chat? But anyway, so Antonio Conte leaves Tottenham Hotspur. Which is a few days old, this news is now. I put out a video saying who should replace him before he'd even left the club. That shows how much I knew he was going to be going. Inside source Stonadge, mate, obviously. So Antonio Conte leaves Tottenham Hotspur. It was a situation where he pretty much left his position untenable. He had this almighty rant to the media where he goes and accuses Daniel Levy. Officially, he doesn't say really anything of the sort, but if you read between the lines, he says that Daniel Levy's an unambitious owner. And that is the reason why Tottenham haven't won anything in the last 15 years. That's the top and bottom of it. You can go and watch the whole 19-minute rant if you want, but that's the top and bottom of it. He says he basically, and even in his Instagram post where he goes, thank you to everyone at Tottenham who enjoyed my passion and shared my passion. I think, personally, I think it's again a dig at Daniel Levy in the way that he's run the club, even though he did back Antonio Conte in the summer, and Conte does have a record of doing this. What do you guys think of this? Personally, right, I'm starting from here before I go on to potential candidates and talk about what they could bring to the club. I think Antonio Conte is a lot in the right in this situation, but it's sort of like it feels like he is the wrong person to be saying it. So Antonio Conte has this reputation, shall we say, this outright reputation of being this maniac, this mentalist almost in the box. Being honest, right, he's not the one that should be saying all of this. It should be someone else behind the scenes. And I'm sure it has been said, but even in the public eye, Antonio Conte, his words in this situation do not carry the same as someone who potentially has a little bit more of a stable mentality. I don't feel like Conte is a stable man, really. I don't know his mental situation right now, but I just feel like he's such an obsessive, and he wants to succeed so badly that when it doesn't happen, he throws his toys out of the pram. And I just don't know. Good to see you, Amy, by the way, in the chat, and hey to everyone else who has Minecraft gamers as well as here. So yes, he's in the right in what he's saying and what he did say. Tottenham are unambitious. They haven't won anything in 15 years for a reason. They're happy with top four, and I think that's, to be honest, for a club of Tottenham size, that's fine. Top four is like a trophy to some clubs. The amount of money they get in is unbelievable, but they still don't win anything. You know, they have developed this reputation for not winning anything. And then you go further forward, and you go to the last few years. Even when they had the chance, they didn't push on under Pochettino, and I don't know. Then you move on further forward to his potential successors, and the way that his predecessors. So they've gone with the project managers like Pochettino, and it worked, but it took them a while. They went previously though. They've gone for serial winners in the last few years. They went for Conte, and more pragmatic managers, by the way. They went for Conte. They went for Jose Mourinho. I won't call Nuno Santo a genuine a winner, but he was a pragmatic manager, to say the least. So they've gone with three continual pragmatic managers, and then they go, and not only does this showcase the sign of an ambition at Tottenham Hotspur right now, it shows the lack of direction, because they're giving the keys to Stellini, his assistant, and Ryan Mason. Now, we all know how that went last time. They went and lost in a cup final and were absolutely dominated by Manchester City. No, that's not a bad thing. But where's the ambition for Spurs when you've got managers like Julian Nagelsmann and Maurizio Pochettino available now? I'm not saying that these people, and the only reason why I don't think potentially they are hiring him is that Daniel Levy doesn't think they're the answer. He doesn't think they're the answer. Which puzzles me, because I would like to know who is. Do they want to go and get another project coach? Because for me, I think Pochettino is perfect. I know it ended sourly for him, but that's because I think it got too big for him. If at this moment in time, Tottenham are in a much worse place than where he left them. Yes, the start to that season was bad, but it was just the crescendo after the Champions League final, the fall off. And it just didn't work. They're in a better place. They were in a better place now, okay, in general, than they have been. They've got a brilliant new stadium. They've got a good squad of some young players and some very established players. They've got some deadwood, you have to say. They've got some deadwood, but that's just how it is. So yeah, I just don't know. I'm totally baffled by the ambition. I'm totally baffled by the total and utter lack of direction shown by Tottenham Hotspur, and I'm baffled by the fact that they haven't gone out and signed a manager. It's just it's baffling. But Robbie, I understand what you're saying. Bringing Poch back would be very Spurs, and I do agree. I don't know. Do you want, as a Tottenham Hotspur fan, Lucas is in the chat here, I've seen now. What do you want? Do you want instant success because you've tried that and it hasn't worked, or do you want a project manager? The manager you're bringing in, if it's Maurizio Pochettino, you're getting a project. You might be shit for a bit, and that's fine. Or even if you go out and, I don't know, appoint Ruben Amorim, for example, from Sporting Lisbon, which I highly doubt he would leave them right now. Or Paulo Fonseca, for example, who they broke down in talks with previously, or I don't even know who else we got. Nagelsmann, even, because Nagelsmann was reputational for building clubs in Hoffenheim and Leipzig. How? Okay. How do you expect it to go? They have to go for a project manager because that is their proven route to success. Under a project manager previously, they, got to a Champions League final. They reached cup semi-finals, which for Tottenham is successful. It's success for Tottenham. It really is. Will Still would be a shout. Genuinely, I think it would be too big a job for him right now. But why not? Someone of that ilk, give him a gamble, give them backing, give them time. Look at Arsenal. Who've they gone for? Mikel Arteta. Someone who knows the club, someone who understands the culture, and ultimately someone who wants to prove himself. If you've got Antonio Conte and Jose Mourinho, yes, they are burning with passion, but they've proven themselves already. They don't, and Tottenham realistically was the worst club on both of their CVs. Okay, Antonio Conte did come up a little bit before that and managed Empoli, I believe, and stuff like that. But in recent years, shall we say, they are the least ambitious club on all of their CVs. So they don't have to prove anything. Whereas someone like Kjetil Knutsen, for example, or I don't know, someone young and hungry who knows the club, or someone young and hungry who has done well at a club elsewhere and can be given the lift up. Brendan Rodgers' example for Liverpool at the time, right, back in 2012. Just had Kenny Dalglish, won the cup, Carling Cup, yeah, 8th in the league. I would say as bad as it could get as a Liverpool fan in sort of the recent eras, in the Premier League era, shall we say. We go out and we gamble on someone who wants to prove themselves. And yes, I'm not Brendan Rodgers' biggest fan, but he proved himself to be a good manager at the top level. Not a great one, a good manager. You want someone to go out and prove that they're great. Mikel Arteta has proven he's a great coach. There's potential for loads and loads and loads of managers out there who say, like a Will Still, like a Knutsen, like even a Nagelsmann came through in a very similar manner because he was given an opportunity. I just don't know. For me, I would go with someone with a reputation that holds respect, but also someone who's hungry and wants to be at Tottenham. Because realistically, no one can tell me in the 18 months he spent at the club that Antonio Conte wanted to be at Tottenham. Seriously. He didn't look like he wanted to be there the whole time. So, I see no way in that they can move forward. Look at Pochettino when they brought him in. Just finished 8th with Southampton. That sort of finish. Could they attract a Roberto De Zerbi from Brighton? Potentially. Genuinely, they potentially could. Look at the facilities they've got, Spurs. They want to go and get someone in, attract somebody who wants to be there, but also wants to improve wants to improve themselves and improve the club so that they can improve their CV and potentially even take a next step. Because realistically, if Tottenham's your final step, no offence, Lucas, it's a problem. If that's your final step, that's an issue. Because it's usually a destination for someone on the way down or someone on the way up. And that's fine. It's even similar. Tottenham are in band 2 of clubs in the world, right? The top, you have Real Madrid, you have Barcelona, you have PSG, you have Manchester City, you have Liverpool, you have Manchester United, and just about potentially throwing Arsenal in there soon. But Arsenal should have been in there previously, if it wasn't for the fact they've really fallen off. Maybe Chelsea as well. And both the Milan clubs and Juventus I'd throw in there too. Tottenham's not the end goal for these players, these managers. You want them to go in there and improve things to such an extent that potentially someone from Barcelona or Real Madrid can go there and snap up them. This is what Daniel Levy should be looking at, not someone to be a quick fix. Yes, the curse of not winning a trophy has burdened them for the last 15 years, but that's not how they got their success. That's not how they're successful. Okay, that's just how it is. The most success they've had is getting to a Champions League final. That's the biggest success they've had this century. Yeah, they won the Carling Cup, right, but getting to the Champions League final is a monumental achievement. Yes, they didn't win it. I understand they didn't win it, but That's the progress they made under a project-based manager, rather than someone who is going there for a paycheck and to try and win something and a quick fix. It's not worked for Spurs, so don't go for it again. That would be my thoughts. Now let's talk about potential candidates. So I'm going to go on to the betting odds now. So only bet if you gamble if you're over 18 and stuff. I'm not going to tell you where I'm getting these odds from. So Tottenham manager betting odds, right? Tottenham manager. I'm going to go on to the favourites and analyse them, right? So the next permanent Tottenham manager, here are the odds, okay? I'm going to try and get them up now. Hurry up, please. So the favourite at the moment is Julian Nagelsmann at 13-8. The fifth favourite. No, he is the favourite, sorry. So obviously, given the boot from Bayern Munich, Tommy Tuchel's gone in there. I think that's a genius move, really, from Bayern Munich. Exceptional bit of business from them, especially because they got the Champions League coming up and he was unemployed. The thing is, I'm for this because of Nagelsmann's previous history. Hoffenheim, he took them from relegation, okay, to the Champions League. That is so commendable. Very, very similar to Pochettino's Southampton job. Obviously, he didn't get them in the Champions League, but you know what I'm trying to say. Then, obviously, Leipzig, consistent, top 4, cup final, Champions League. Great. You know, Champions League knockout rounds as well. I just feel like in terms of the style Tottenham are going for, it wants to play attacking football. You know, yes, Bayern, he was at Bayern Munich, but this isn't going to be a paycheck for Julian Nagelsmann. The only problem I have with him, the only issue I have, is that he's just been in work and he's just been there, and he's always been in Germany. He's not proven anywhere else. However, in terms of fit, this is what I'd be looking at for Spurs, is this sort of coach. Okay, someone who is either he's either on the way up or needs to get up again. Not someone who's always on the way down. So second favourite is Pochettino. We've mentioned him. Obviously, he got the best out of a lot of these players in the Spurs squad. Knows them inside out. Style's easy on the eye. I mean, as I said, they've gone for others who are not so easy on the eye, and it's not worked out. This will work out for Spurs if they go back for Pochettino, in my opinion. But what is working out, and I think that is what they need to reevaluate. I think they need to go and restart from scratch so they can build up a project, a bit like Arteta did. Is Pochettino the man to do it? Maybe. I just feel like his previous history with the club does hinder that a little bit. Coming up next, third favourite is Oliver Glasner, who is obviously the Eintracht Frankfurt manager. So they just got knocked out of the Champions League to Napoli, but won the 2021-22 Europa League. So it's very, very fresh, very, very new. He did exceptionally well. His Frankfurt side are doing really, really well as well. They're really, really they're sixth in the Bundesliga at the moment, but they're only 6 points off the top 4, which is very, very doable in this current Bundesliga season because anyone can beat anyone. What a league it is, by the way. I'd be keen if I was a Spurs fan on Oliver Glasner. It just feels like somebody who potentially, and that's what I'm going to say, is potentially needs that leg up and needs an opportunity. It might drastically fail, and it won't be the most perfect, move for Tottenham fans. I just feel like maybe it's a step too far for him at a club like Spurs. I don't know, because Frankfurt is a great club to be at the moment. Probably not something he wants to leave. So the next two on the list are Luis Enrique and Zinedine Zidane. So Luis Enrique won a treble with Barcelona. We just have to remember this, by the way. Had Messi, Suarez and Neymar. So let's just say he had options for him. But Luis Enrique is a little bit of a... I think I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether I rate him or not. It's come to the point where I think a lot of people rated him so highly before the World Cup, and Spain totally bottled it in the World Cup. They totally bottled it. He did a good job at Barcelona, and I emphasize a good job. I don't think it was a great job, but it's a good job. my wonder is his style of play is extremely patient. I feel like maybe he'll have the same effect sort of as Maurizio Sarri did at Chelsea, where people will get tired of this. It's very, very, very Spanish in the way that they play. It's totally possession-based, not particularly energy-based. Will it suit this Tottenham team? I'm not too sure. So I don't... And also, he's an experienced coach. They need someone to be there for a project. And next down below that is Zinedine Zidane. So no way is he going there. Not going to lie. He's never going to Tottenham. So we'll ignore him. The next two on the list intrigue me a lot more. So much akin to what I said to you previously. Thomas Frank and Roberto De Zerbi. Now I mentioned De Zerbi. I think he should be a contender for Manager of the Year. I know he wasn't here. I know he wasn't here for the whole time. But for me, I think he's got to be one of the managers of the season. If Arteta doesn't win it, then it has to be him for me. He's just an exceptional coach, and the way that he's influenced Brighton is unbelievable. But one thing I will say about Roberto De Zerbi is he is a little bit of a nomad. He doesn't usually stay in the same place for too long, De Zerbi. Of course, he helped build a great Sassuolo side, who got up to the Serie A. He helped, Shakhtar Donetsk, but he's never stayed at a club more than 3 years. That's where he stayed at Sassuolo. A season at Darfur Boario, 2 seasons at Foggia, Palermo for a bit, Benevento for a season, then Sassuolo for 3, and now Shakhtar for 2, and Brighton for 1. He only actually managed 30 games as Shakhtar manager before resigning, I believe. So obviously the issue with the Russian invasion of Ukraine did impact him a lot. He was doing an unbelievable job. He won 20 of his 30 games as Shakhtar manager, but obviously that was changed. But he has won 13 of his 25 as Brighton coach. Exceptional record for Brighton and Hove Albion. He's gonna be top. He is gonna be really, really top. And would Tottenham tempt you if you're Roberto De Zerbi? I don't know. Because realistically, if he goes in there, is there any pressure to win anything? Maybe just a little bit, but not much. He's done an incredible job. It's a bit like Potter at Chelsea. Give him the keys. Just let him see what happens. Obviously, it hasn't worked out for Chelsea as of yet, but I think it will work out if De Zerbi went to Tottenham. It's all to do with whether he's tempted by it. And I tell you what, I would be, despite the fact that Brighton have done exceptionally well. They do have a track record of losing their managers and losing their players. And then Thomas Frank. Now, it would be a different style than De Zerbi. Thomas Frank's a little bit more innovative, but not exactly as eye-catching. A lot more set-piece based, a lot more energetic, I would say. Obviously, Brighton's side do press, but it's a lot about possession. And genuinely, I think Thomas Frank is a little bit too pragmatic at the moment. Now, Brentford play intense football, but they also play very, very solid defensive football. Is this a bit too similar to what you're investing in Nuno Espirito Santo? Potentially. I think Thomas Frank's a better coach. I think he's a more innovative coach. I think he's got a big future in the game. But I think he needs to take Brentford to another level yet before he can be considered for this sort of job. It's not, in my opinion, I think it's a step too far for him at the moment. Top coach, he's done brilliantly with Brentford, and he's a great guy, but I wouldn't say he'll go to Spurs. And finally, Massimiliano Allegri is the last one on the list at 18-1. This is all according to a certain betting app. He's currently in his second spell at Juventus, who look to have turned a corner following their Serie A points deduction. But they are in a bit of transition and won't have a lot of money to spend, which Massi Allegri does love to do. He's obviously, spent a lot of money in his time in Serie A at the moment, but they did just beat Juventus. They just beat Inter. Sorry, they've got themselves back up to 7th place and could genuinely challenge for top 4 still. They're only 7 points off Milan in 4th. It's possible. that he does leave if they don't get in the top 7 and get an offer from Spurs if they're in the Champions League at the end of the season and accept it. But I just feel like his style is too suited to Italian football and is a bit of a dinosaur. I think it'd be a massive, another step backwards from Spurs. Completely, no way would they. I just think it would just be a similar template, really. No from me to Allegri. Russell Martin, I think Swansea fans would laugh their heads off at you, Bol. Yes, plays pretty football, but doesn't particularly succeed, as we've seen this season. It's sort of fall off a cliff a little bit for Russell Martin and Swansea. And, to be honest, they could go and lose the South Wales derby this weekend and actually only be 2 points above Cardiff. So it'd be a bit of a problem. Sorry, 4 points above Cardiff. But Cardiff would have a game in hand. I don't think Russell Martin would be a shout. But, maybe. It was linked that he was going to go to Norwich, but he chose to stay at Swansea. They're 16th in the Championship. I think the style, again, is very, very methodical, possession-based. Do you think they'll hire a stopgap or hire someone for the future? Also, I think Conte held his words as long as he could. Yeah, absolutely. Well, at the moment, it's looking like Stellini and Ryan Mason are going to be the coaching pair for the remaining 10 games, which could be suicidal from Tottenham. It could be brilliant. It could be absolutely brilliant work if they stick around. Catch you in a bit, Lucas. It could be brilliant because it could galvanise them. It could be a bit like a what's an example of a caretaker manager doing well? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It could be an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer situation. I don't think it will be. Ryan Mason, although he played well for Spurs, was not a legend. He's not the sort of legend that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was for Manchester United. He won't have the same sort of vibe on the side. So yeah, I think that'll be it. And then, well, I don't see it. I think it could be suicide from Spurs. Genuinely suicide. Let's just have a look at the Premier League table while we're here. So Tottenham are currently in the top 4. And they find themselves on 49 points, which is 2 points ahead of Newcastle. Newcastle have 2 games in hand. 7 points ahead of Liverpool, who have 2 games in hand. Bear in mind, one of those games is Man City away we have got next. So Brighton have 3 games in hand and are only 7 points off. Brentford have 1 game in hand and are 7 points off. And Fulham and then Chelsea and Villa are still within touching distance of the 3 above them. So they are in a good place because they've got the points on the board. It's just whether they can get from their remaining 30 points that they can access, how many they can get. Realistically, looking at previous seasons, around 67, 68 points is good enough to get you in at the top 4. This year, I think it's going to be below that, especially for 4th place. So at the end of the day, Liverpool have got the most experience in these situations. However, they've probably got the most difficult run-in with, especially in the next few weeks, with City, Chelsea, Arsenal, and then Spurs also to play in the remaining 10 games for them, 12 games for them. Sorry, you've got Brighton in this situation, who are the underdogs, but on points should effectively get into the top 4 if they win the rest of their games. That's the truth. They've also got a tough run in though. They've got to play Chelsea away. They've got to play Man City home. They've got to play Man United at home. They've got to play Spurs away. They've also got to play Arsenal away as well. So it's a very, very difficult run in for Brighton. But if anyone's proven they can do it, they can. Their home form's exceptional. At the end of the season, they've got 4 home games out of 6. They're more than capable of doing it, and De Zerbi's a top coach, as I've mentioned already. Elsewhere in the table, I mean, Newcastle United have started to sort of bounce back a little bit. 2 big wins. The last one, of course, against Nottingham Forest. They've got Man United at home next, and then they've got West Ham, Brentford away, and Villa away before playing Spurs at home, Everton away, Southampton at home, Arsenal at home, Leeds away, Leicester at home, and Chelsea away. So a lot of away games going to be played in the last few for Newcastle's last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away games out of 11. So it's a tough run-in. It's a really tough run-in for them. Hello Spenny, how we doing, mate? Good to see you. Who's my next signing for Tranmere? Oh, you have to wait and see, mate. Do you guys want me to stream that, or do you want it to still be videos? I kind of fancy streaming it. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't think I'll do it on this channel. I might do it on a different channel if you guys fancy that, and start up like an FM based channel as well. Yeah, well, they're very Spursy. And what do I think of Ben Foster coming out of retirement for Wrexham? Now that is a story for the ages. I absolutely love it. So obviously followed Wrexham very, very closely, doing my dissertation on Wrexham. And then they come out and announce they sign Ben Foster on a free transfer, coming out of retirement. Of course, the content machine, a friggin' legend. And Foster himself is just an absolute hero. I love him. I think everyone loves him, really. And to say this move was written in the stars and also the most perfect move for both parties is exceptional. Not only do Brentford need... not only do Wrexham need a goalkeeper. They obviously lost goalkeepers to injury. Howard and Lainton have been injured. Howard also didn't have the greatest time of things as well. Ben Foster can make such good content. He could get Ryan Reynolds on his podcast as a clause in his contract. Mate, I mean, come on. It's unbelievable. I think he put out his vlog today as well, which I'm yet to see. I love it. It's perfect. It's a great move on the pitch. It's a great move off the pitch for 8 games and maybe even more. I'm sure there would be some sort of having a look, and especially because the National League are being quite open with it and, you know, allowing Ben Foster to sort this. I love it. I absolutely love it, guys. I'm not gonna lie. It's something that it feels like proper. It feels like genuinely. It feels like a real football story that has been taken off Football Manager almost and put into reality. It's fantasy. And now I don't want to paint Wrexham out as any sort of underdog because they're not. You know, they've got money, they've got but they've got money and they're probably going to get promoted in ways that aren't organic, okay? But let me tell you what is organic. The commitment that these absolute A-list superstars, right, who could be doing anything else with their day, spending time in North Wales, which I can tell you right now isn't the most well, it is pretty picturesque, but some parts of it aren't the nicest. They're not the LAs of this world. They're not the Bora Boras of the world. Although Anglesey is pretty nice, it isn't the flash world of LA. And it could genuinely be like, you know, the commitment of these owners. If anyone out there doesn't rate what Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney are doing, it's just a bit weird and a bit jealous. I don't know. Like, it's not sports washing because it's a genuine attempt. They're not coming in for good PR. They've done their good PR. They're fucking owners. They are film stars. They are amazing. You know, they're unbelievable. You know, they don't need any more good PR. What they're doing is investing in a community that genuinely deserves it. Now, for me, it's exceptional. It really, really is. And I wish them the best of luck with it. I think a lot of people will still be jealous because it's not them, and I suppose it's a natural human reaction. But I think you'd be lying to yourself, really, if you don't realise how good this is for not only Wrexham but for Wales, for the community, for everyone who's involved with the football club. It's fantastic. It really, really is, and I'm really, really happy for them that they're still maintaining it. I genuinely believe that if it carries on the way it is, they could be the biggest club in Wales. And I know they're at the very start of their journey. But why not? Lads? Genuinely, why not? They are something very, very special brewing in North Wales right now, and I'm happy for it. I genuinely am. I'd be happy if it was a club down the road. It's an underdog story. They bought the club for £3 million, and they're going to make it sustainable when they leave. They won't be around forever. The story won't last forever because nothing ever does. But what will happen is, I think that these two owners will leave a legacy well beyond what they've put in. They will be put in. They will genuinely, I think, be legends in the town of Wrexham for years to come. Years and years and years to come. Billy, who's going to be bigger, mate? Realistically, I mean, I'm not going to speak ill of any club in Wales, but what I will say is there's only one forward-thinking one in terms of off-field. And unless something happens off-field with either of those clubs, like, I don't know. I just don't know. But yeah, I'm thoroughly happy with Wrexham, and I really want them to continue doing well. Ben Foster's a friggin' legend, and I love that man. I adore him, man. He's an absolute hero, and I'm going to watch his vlog later. I am. And I bet you he's going to have like a... he's definitely having like a Ryan Reynolds clause in his contract, man. Get him on the friggin' podcast, man. Get him on the pod. Oh, mate. The things I do to interview Ben Foster, you know. Yeah, but Bill, you can't say that about England. You can't say that about England. Realistically, the two biggest clubs are in the north. And will it be the same for Wales? Who knows? The only way that changes, in my honest opinion, is if the ownership changes. But I can't really say much because he does pay some of my wages. So, love you, Vincent. Love you out there, bro. Also, massive congratulations to Cardiff City women this weekend as well. They won the Adran Premier League title, and my graphic got used. So I had a cheeky retweet from me, so we love that. Newport City also won this weekend, guys. Absolutely huge from them. So yeah, it's been a good footballing weekend for me. And I tell you what, I tell you what, right? I have not missed the Premier League one bit. I can't lie to you. I've not missed Liverpool one bit. I've not missed the Premier League one bit. It might be because we're shit. In fact, that's what it's all about. We are bad. We're awful. But fine. I'm buzzing, lads. I can't lie. I'm happy with life because the Premier League's not on. It's genuinely a thing. Like, I'm a lot more chilled out now than I have been for a while. So I can't lie. It's been good. It's been good. So let's move on and talk more elsewhere in the Premier League this week. And let's talk internationals, actually. Let's talk England. Because there's been a debate going on Twitter. There's been a debate going on Twitter this week about Harry Kane and Wayne Rooney. And I want to get your guys' thoughts. What do you think? Who do you think, is the best English striker of all time? So I'm going to throw this out there. Harry Kane is the best English striker of the last 50 years. Because I think that's how you can judge it. There's no debate. Okay, and if anyone even tries to compare Wayne Rooney, right? And I'm telling this as a striker and a goal scorer, not as a player, as a striker and a goal scorer. Harry Kane is so astronomically clear. A lot of people say, oh, yeah, but he scores goals against small teams. He has scored goals in major finals. Wayne bloody Rooney, scored one goal in major finals. Harry Kane astronomically outperformed Wayne Rooney at major tournaments. For me, that's the making of a player. Have you played well in a major tournament on multiple bases? Yes. Therefore, for me, that makes you a good footballer. A good international footballer. Harry Kane has scored more goals in less games. There's no debate. Harry Kane's a much, much better forward. And I'd like to put that to bed. I think it's a ridiculous statement. I think it's a much more debatable scenario if you're talking about who's the better footballer. Wayne Rooney potentially has a lot more to say in that regard, technically. But as a goal scorer, Harry Kane is so astronomically clear. It's unbelievable. He's astronomically clear of him. And it pisses me off. It pisses me off, this debate. It really does, because there's nothing. Your soul is like a river, peaceful and deep. When I look into your eyes, I know that it's true. God must have spent more time on you. Oh, Ball. That's sweet, man. Bless you. I doubt it, though. I doubt God didn't spend more time on me. He could have made both my eyes look straight at the same time. He definitely could have done. And he could have made my beard grow a little bit better as well. But I have given it a little trim today. But yesterday, wait there, lads. I'll show you. This is bad. I look like a giraffe right now. I did cut it there. That is an absolute cursed image. That was a cursed image, by the way. I'm awful on this side, don't I? Look at that. This side, I'm a way better looking man. That side, nah, it just angles weirdly, doesn't it? It's got to be. I've got to look this way the whole time now. I just got to look this way and understand that I look way better on this side. It might be the hair. It must be the hair. It's the hair. It's the hair. Obviously, it's the hair. Josh. So, yeah, is the consensus we want FM streams instead, and I'll make a separate channel for it? Or do you want it on this channel as well? Because I think it has to be segregated a bit, right? I can't just whack everything on here. But yeah, this 40 minutes has flown by, gents and ladies. How's Isabel? Isabel is very good, Liz. How are you? Is the main thing. How are you? She's good. She's working, and she is she's going to be down here in my ends in the next sort of Monday, Thursday. She's coming, so that's a week on Thursday. When's the next FM episode? I think I'm going to stream it. I think I am. Bowl thinks I should stream it. Should I do it on this channel or on a separate channel? Thoughts? I just enjoy streaming more because it doesn't mean I don't have to edit, which is great. I don't mind clipping. I just don't like editing. It's long, lads. I can't lie. It's just long. Oh, lads. Oh, Izzy's in the chat. Hello. Need some signing ideas for League 2. I signed David Nugent in League 2, Josh. I signed David Nugent on League 2. Yeah, it's I can't really give you much suggestion, lad. Good to see you. Good to see you all. So yeah. It is going to be long and hard. It genuinely is. I don't mind editing when I've got like an actual like project at the end of it, but like when it's a series like that, fuck that, mate. I might just stream it and just have vibes, you know. Blimey. I don't know. I don't know, man. But anyway, let's talk Liverpool for 20 minutes. Let's talk Liverpool. Because that's probably a good way to fill the time. We're shit, aren't we, lads? And we're not signing Jude Bellingham. I'm telling you. I'm telling you now. But let's have a look. What's been going on in Liverpool? Let me just say one thing, and I want to say something. I want to say something now, and I want you to listen. Curtis Jones is a baller. He's a baller. Curtis Jones is a baller, lads. That's all I'm saying to you. Watch that under-21s game and tell me he's not a baller, lads. Watch it. I dare you. I dare you and tell me he's not a baller. Curtis Jones is unreal. He needs to play more football, lads. I'm done with Oxlade-Chamberlain. I'm done with Naby Keita. I'm done with it. Curtis Jones, put him in. Put him in. I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm done with it all. I'm done with it all. It genuinely, it pisses me off how people don't rate him, man. He is so good. And I'm not having it anymore. I'm not having it. Curtis Jones, Bajcetic, Harvey Elliott, future of this football club. Maybe Jones needs a loan. But there's a profile of player there. Leggy, gangly. Everything. You know, quick. Technically good. Yes, he spends a little bit too long on a ball. But apart from that, there's the ingredients there, lads. And it winds me up. He's gone through so much shit at the start of this year. The people continuously, oh, Jones is awful. Oh, get Jones out. Sell him now. What? He's fine. He's a good backup, lads. And I want to reaffirm this. He is good. And I'm gonna fight his corner. Now, if I see any Jones slander whatsoever on the timeline or on YouTube or anywhere, I'll scrap people. I'm doing it. I've had it. I'm gonna be number one Curtis Jones defender now. I'm genuinely. I'm gonna be obsessive. I don't know. I'm gonna make it my thing. Me and my boy CJ. You know. It's got to be done. It's got to be done, lads. I'm sorry. It's really, really wound me up. How much, right? And it's only over the last few days. How much people write this kid off? Like, seriously write him off. After all the issues he's had personally, injuries. Like, seriously? Did we not watch him in 2021, guys? Did we not? He is good enough, in my opinion, right, to be a top-level Premier League footballer. There needs to be games given, whether that's via loan or whether that's in the Liverpool first team in the next 10 games, Jurgen Klopp. Fine. You know, because we shouldn't be giving games to Oxlade-Chamberlain. We shouldn't be giving anything to Naby Keita. Arguably, we shouldn't be giving anything to James Milner either. So that leaves Curtis Jones, Carvalho, and whoever else. By the way, another thing. Tyler Morton for Blackburn on the other day when they played Sheffield United. I know they lost, but blimey, that kid is good, lads. Again, another top-quality footballer getting championship experience. Maybe Curtis Jones, that's what he needs, because obviously Harvey Elliott went out and got it. Morton's going out and getting it. Maybe that's what Curtis Jones needs, is a top-level championship loan or a Premier League loan. Get some confidence, play regular football. I'm down for it. And to be honest, I see a long-term future at the club because if you look at the amount of homegrown talent that's going to be leaving Liverpool, and I'll say talent loosely by the word, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Nat Phillips, Naby Keita, who isn't homegrown, obviously. Oxlade-Chamberlain, Nat Phillips, James Milner. People are saying Joe Gomez might leave as well. So that's 4 homegrown players. You're telling me we're going to sell a 5th? Nah. We need Curtis Jones. Okay? And if we're in the bloody Europa League next year, lads... If we're in the Europa League next year, he's going to have to play. And play regularly. That's a really, really important point to make. He is going to have to play and play regular football. Because we're going to need the whole of the squad next year. So, I'm down and I'm keen. I'm going to be Curtis Jones FC now. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Yeah, I might be mental. I might be mental. But yeah, nah. We do need Bellingham. We do need Bellingham. We do need Bellingham, and we do need. Well, we need 3 midfielders, lads, or 2 minimum midfielders in the summer. 2 minimum. And maybe a 3rd. So, Amir's in the chat. Good to see you, mate. So yeah, 2 minimum. Maybe a 3rd. I'm down. I'm down for it. I just got a WhatsApp. I don't even have WhatsApp open. Okay, nice. Yeah. Hey, Alex in the chat. Good to see you as always, my friend. Miss you. Miss you so much. I haven't said miss you to my missus yet, but I've said it to Alex. Liverpool have got so much quality in depth, lads. In terms of academy. People don't recognise it, man. Yeah, please hit the like. Oh, look at that. David and Liz both hitting the like button straight away. It's so good to see because I've got the stats here, right? The views aren't massive, right? But the average watch time is like 14 minutes, lads. I love this. I love this. People staying for the stream. This is a core community channel. It's not about everyone in the world. It's core community channel. And this is where we are. This is Community FC here. Yeah, we're very, very close to... we would have been at the watch hours if I'd have continued streaming for a bit. We're very, very nearly there. So I will be starting up memberships. I'll be obliterating all the mods. None of you will be mods. And only members will become mods or very special individuals. If I'm nice. But then what we'll be doing is putting all that back into the channel and supporting it, and making sure that there's time. Connor Bradley as well, so good, lads, so good. Paul Glatzel, good in FM, yeah. Well, he's up my Tranmere team. He won't be able to get past David Nugent though, so that's the main thing. So it's looking good. I'm feeling good, lads. I'm feeling ready to rumble for the rest of this year. Obviously you get university work as well, but in the middle of all that, we got this. We've genuinely got a real great community here, lads. I'm feeling it. Even after I'm an L. My subs on the banner are wrong. Is it 1.07? It still is. Love you, Josh. And Josh. We got the boys. By the way, I put daily streams at 7:30. What absolute waffle is that? And I said Football Manager series coming soon. It is already here. Shows how much I've put in. Football Manager streams soon. There we go. So if you haven't already subscribed, but I'm sure you have, please do. And also we are looking to set up a Discord. Does anyone actually know how to set up a Discord? It's just going to be the group of us, small group of us, play some Among Us, do some chatting, have a good time. Just have a bit of a laugh, lads, to be honest. And it's just going to be a place for everyone to chill out, have a bit of banter with everyone, and just make it a really, really easy place to be in life. Because that's where we want to be, We want to play some Among Us and play some FM and stream to everyone. So, yeah, that's the plan. I'll do memberships very, very soon. Alex, you can be a moderator, fine. I'll make you back to a mod. There you go. I've been harsh. 8 minutes to go at this stream now, guys. What do we want to discuss? What are we chatting about then? We're talking about how Curtis Jones is the best. Simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone I've ever met. What are we thinking? Oh, see you later, Ball. See you later, my man. You love a Discord, says Josh. West Ham. Are West Ham going down? Are they going down? I think they are, lads. I think they might be in. They might be in the mud. Sorry, Alex. I think they might be. I just think they're leaving it too late, and they're going so deep in the Conference League. They're going so deep in the Conference League that potentially they might be finitoed. Do you see them winning? Realistically, there's a huge game next Sunday against Southampton. Absolutely monumental. Newcastle at home then on the Wednesday. Those two games could keep them up. But then Fulham away, I don't see them getting anything away from home. West Ham are strong at home, I think. I think they'll beat Liverpool, if I'm being honest, on the 26th. So maybe, yeah, to be fair, maybe they will stay up. But that Southampton game is so massive. If they lose that, they're in the mud. They're in the mud. What manager do I look at? Oh, mate. It is huge. Oh, God. Oh, don't. Look. We're better away. To be fair, maybe you are. But yeah, if West Ham beat Southampton, I think they'll be okay. But if they lose that would be so bad. Be awful. The whole chat are mods. Yeah, I've been far too generous with the mods. I've been far too generous. I'm too nice. Who are the three going down? Let's have a lookie, shall we? I'm gonna say Southampton and Bournemouth, and I did say Everton at the start of the season, so I'm gonna stick with it. But They are tribe. To be fair, right, and me and my dad were having this conversation the other night. This might be the worst quality Premier League season in a decade. And I mean this seriously. If you think about all the teams that are playing badly this year, Arsenal are probably the only ones playing to their full potential. Man City, although they've won 19 games, are not the same side. Man United are in transition. Tottenham are shit and fourth. Newcastle are an upcoming team and aren't great. Liverpool are shit. Brighton are good, but again, they're performing above expectations. Same with Brentford, same with Fulham. Chelsea is shit. Villa, I watched them earlier this season. They were awful, obviously, under Gerrard. They've improved under Emery. Still not great. Palace are awful. Wolves are awful. Leeds are awful. Everton are awful. Forest are awful. Leicester are really bad. West Ham are woeful. Bournemouth lost 9-0 to Liverpool and then beat us 1-0, so I can't really say anything about Bournemouth, but still, they are bad. And Southampton, there's quality. I see more quality in Southampton than I do in Crystal Palace, than I do in Wolves, than I do in Leeds, but I still think they'll go down because of the lack of experience. But seriously, this is an awful Premier League season. I would say it's the worst Premier League season in a decade, genuinely, because of the amount of sides that are totally underperforming. Yes, the standard of football potentially overall has gone up, but everyone just seems to be off something. It just doesn't seem to be right, and I think it's because of the World Cup. That's my opinion, anyway. That's my opinion. And I'm not saying it's the worst Premier League season in terms of drama, by the way. In terms of drama, it's mental. It's going to be class. But in terms of quality, it's been awful. It's been absolutely woeful. And that's just, I think it's because of the World Cup. People were trying to stay fit before the World Cup. I'd say after the World Cup, it's probably got slightly better. But even so, it was a lot of psychological situation, and I think it so ruined it. I think Leicester are going to get relegated. They're going to sack Rodgers immediately before it's too late. I don't know. Really. I don't know. Looking forward to the Euros. I am not. I hate international football, man. That's the one bad bit about this break, is that international football's been on. I've genuinely watched more of the Women's Super League, and I've never been, I've watched a bit of women's football, but I've genuinely never been a massive follower of it. I've watched more Women's Super League, and I'm going to watch Celtic. V Rangers women later. I think it's already on, actually. And I'd rather watch women's football, club football, than I'd watch international football. Some people have been complaining about the Queen's death. As that is also another thing that happened that shouldn't have stopped football. If we're being honest. It shouldn't have stopped football. And I might get in trouble for saying this, but realistically, people can pay respects in their own way, but the world must go on. If you know what I mean? She was just a woman at the end of the day. No one did it for my grandmother, so why should I do it for her? Effectively. And it really, really pissed me off. How much respect you may have for her and fair play. No, it shouldn't have stopped football. It was pathetic. It was dumb. So, it really, really wound me up. That. And also, the World Cup was ridiculously corrupt as well. So, this whole season's been a write-off, really, as much as COVID was. And that, I think that's been a contributor into why this season's been such a poor season of football. I think last season we saw a lot better sides, a lot of teams who were really going for it, playing attractive football. Some of the football this year has been woeful. Hope the why I die is the world stops. Maybe you mean when you die. But anyway, thank you so much to everyone to be in the stream. I will be back tomorrow for Wales against Latvia. So if you want to join me for that one, I will be wearing my Wales top and supporting Wales, because I'm going to be that sort of turncoat. But I've been really, really appreciative of you guys being here the whole time. I hope you have a lovely rest of your Monday evening, and I will catch you later on. Bye-bye.